Hello again, it's me, Gabby from GoNaturalEnglish.com, and today we're going to talk about something really important. A lot of people have been experiencing some big changes lately. Have you had to change your work to work from home? You used to have face-to-face meetings, but now you need to have video conferences from home while you're working remotely. Well, today we're going to talk about how to start and end a video conferencing call in English. Now, this might seem simple, but there are some really important details that will help you to have a smoother beginning, a more confident conversation, and a really strong close or ending to your video call. Many people make the huge mistake of being really unprepared about how to begin and end a video call. And so today we're going to learn some really quick and easy ways that you can improve your video calls, whether they're on Zoom or Skype, Google Hangouts, or whatever video conferencing platform you use. After watching this video, you're gonna have much better calls, whether they are for work, professional reasons, or just casual calls with your friends and family. People nowadays are doing a lot more video calls. Real quick, I want to give a huge thank you to Linggoda for partnering on this video and let you know that there is still time to join their online language sprint, which gives you 100% of your cash back when you join the language sprint and you take an online class each day of the sprint. You can also take the online Cambridge language test for free. This is a tremendous opportunity for you to improve your spoken English skills, your confidence, and fluency by practicing online with their expert native tutors. As of now, over 25,000 people have participated in the Linggoda language sprint and shared with me their positive feedback about how it has impacted their lives positively. So I can't wait to share the details with you about how you can participate and benefit from the next Linggoda sprint. But now let me talk about how to begin your video call. I want to know from you, can you tell me how you usually start and end a video call? Tell me the words or the phrases that you use, leave them in the comments, and you can check to see if they're good, appropriate, and correct. A couple quick notes for your video call. Even though you're not face-to-face, eye contact is still super important. So as soon as you get your video call connected, make sure that you're giving the feeling of eye contact. Now, it's a little strange because you're not face-to-face, but don't look down and don't only look at the face of the other person or people with whom you're speaking. You need to look into the camera on your webcam or your laptop or your mobile phone, whatever you're using, to give the feeling of eye contact to the other person. This is still super important even if you're just doing a video call and not in person. Second, it's a really good idea if you're doing this for work or professional reasons to record the call. Of course, always asking if that's okay with the other participants first, or take notes during the call. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming when you're dealing with technology and you don't want to forget what you actually talked about during your phone meeting, right? Now, to start the call, of course, you can imagine you might say something like, hello, or hi. Or if it's a more casual call, you might say, hey. If you're talking with maybe your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you'd say, hey, babe. If you're talking with someone more professionally, of course, we want to keep things really more formal and not so casual, like, hey, babe, or hey, honey. In a professional call, you want to say, hello, and then address the other person by name. So for example, hello, Mr. Smith, or hello, Mrs. Rodriguez. so nice to talk with you. Or you might say, good morning, Mr. Smith. Or if you're on a first name basis, you could say good morning or good afternoon, John or Mary or whomever you're speaking with. If it's later in the day, you could say good evening, but be careful, please don't say good night. This is a common mistake, and native English speakers don't say good night until it's time to go to sleep. And so on a video conferencing call, you're probably not going to sleep, so you don't want to say good night. Simply say good evening as a greeting. Now, since we're on a video call, you might want to do a quick tech check. I usually ask, can you hear me? Can you see me? Is the audio working? Is the video working? Just to make sure everything is running smoothly before I start the conversation. Then another greeting, like, how are you today? How has your day been so far? Or how is work going? How's everything? These are all really good second greetings after hello to just start the conversation. A little bit of small talk is always a good idea. So one more time, how are you? How's it going? How is your day so far? How is work? How's everything? Now, your response to these questions should be short, positive, and to the point. The response should really be 1 or 2 words, maybe good, great, everything's fantastic, can't complain, never better. Now, I actually made another video on this very topic, how to respond to the question, how are you? Fluently, confidently, like a native speaker, and I'm gonna link to that right up there so that you can watch that next. Professional calls should now talk about the purpose of the call or go over the agenda. For example, you might say, I'd like to talk about X, Y, and Z. Another way of saying this using a phrasal verb is let's go over X, Y, and Z. Or I'd like to review X, Y, and Z if you've already talked about something before. I'd like to cover X, Y, and Z in this phone call or this video call. So again, the verbs to use are talk with you about, go over something, or cover something. All right, so now that you've successfully begun your video conference call, you're gonna have your conversation, and then at the end, you need to end it. Do not just say bye and then end the conversation. This is a big mistake that I see people making that might not feel very confident in their English fluency. Maybe you don't have the vocabulary or the phrases you need to end a conversation smoothly. But if you just say, okay, bye, it feels abrupt and rude. So let me share some phrases that you can use to end your conversation like an English pro. It's always a good idea to say, thank you. Thank you for talking with me today. Or thank you for taking the time to talk with me today. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. Or thank you for making time for meeting with me today. There are a few different variations which can all convey the same meaning. You can choose which one you like to use the best. If you're having a business meeting, it's always a good idea to summarize what you talked about. It was great talking with you about X, Y, and Z. Or I really enjoyed being able to cover X, Y, and Z with you today. I appreciate your time going over X, Y, and Z today. It's been a pleasure talking about X, Y, and Z with you. And it's always a good idea to state the next action steps. For example, I'll follow up with you in a couple of days. I'll touch base with you in a couple of days. These two phrasal verbs, follow up and touch base, are super common, and you should use them when you're talking about the next steps in your communication with someone. You can follow up or touch base by email, phone, or a video call, or even in person. You could also use the phrasal verb to get back in touch with you. So use follow up, touch base, or get back in touch with you soon. Finally, after you say thank you, summarize, and talk about the next action steps, you can close your call by saying simply bye or goodbye. If you're having a more casual call with friends or family, you might say bye-bye. Or if you have a more casual business, you could say see you later or talk to you soon. So I hope that these phrases and these tips for your video conferencing calls were helpful. I want you to feel more confident and fluent in your English skills. If you have any questions about these phrases, let me know in the comments. Now, I promised I'd give you details about the Linggoda language sprint, which I'm really excited about, and I hope that you take the opportunity to join. When I was learning Spanish with Linggoda and their online lessons, I made sure to learn some phrases to start and end my video lesson calls with their teachers. But it's not enough to just know the phrases. You really need to use them, to practice them, and that's how it becomes second nature or automatic for you to use these phrases. Also, what I enjoyed about learning with Linggoda that you'll enjoy too is that their lesson times are very flexible. So you could schedule your online lesson after work, in the evenings, or on the weekends. I usually take lessons on Sundays because Sundays are usually less busy for me. But if you have more time at home than usual now, it's a great time to get started with the Linggoda language sprints. You get more time spent speaking and not just listening to lectures with the Linggoda small group classes that have an average of 3 participants in each lesson. Also, in each lesson, there are structured lesson materials, so you know exactly what you're going to learn and what you'll be able to do by the end of the lesson. Now, this upcoming Linggoda language sprint starts on April 8th and ends on July 6th. You have 2 options for participation in the Linggoda language sprint. First of all, the super sprint is where you take 30 lessons each month for 3 months. And when you complete all of your lessons agreed upon, you get 100% of your tuition money back. This is an amazing opportunity, but if it feels like a little bit too much to commit to, I highly recommend the second option, which is the half sprint, where you participate in 15 lessons per month for 3 months, and you get 50% of your tuition back. This is a great opportunity if you're still working and maybe you don't have as much time to do a daily lesson 30 days out of the month for 3 months. So it depends on you and your schedule, but both of these are great opportunities to improve your fluency and get a lot of practice. Also, it doesn't matter what your level is. If you are a beginner, intermediate level, or advanced speaker, you can join because Linggoda has the right level class for you. And you can join the sprints for English, business English, Spanish, French, or German. You could even join the sprint for more than one of these if you'd like to improve your language skills in more than one language at once. So how do you sign up? Well, the link to sign up is in the description, and you need to sign up by April 3rd. The deadline is April 3rd, but the sprint starts on April 8th, so you have to sign up in advance. There is also a discount code coupon in the description to save you 10 euros off your first month's tuition. To get started, you need to pay for your first month tuition. Again, 100% refundable if you do the super sprint and attend all of the agreed upon classes. If for some reason you can't attend all of the agreed upon classes, it's not really a big deal. You just have to pay the tuition as you would for regular language classes anyway. Linggoda will refund your money if you attend the agreed upon number of classes within each sprint month by following the sprint rules. Places in this sprint are limited, so if you want to take advantage of this offer, I highly recommend that you sign up today. Reserve your spot before they are full. Linggoda challenges have been running for more than 2 years and have helped more than 25,000 language learners to improve their language skills. You know, they have an Instagram account where they share their students' stories, and you can check it out too to see what the experience would be like. So check out their Instagram account at Linggoda_official. And if you have any questions about joining the Linggoda Sprint, you can leave them in the comments and I'll check them out and see if I can help. Thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoy learning languages, especially English as a second language, make sure to subscribe here to Go Natural English. I hope that you enjoyed these tips and have an amazing day. Thanks again, and bye for now.